One of the most painful realizations in dating is that attraction doesn't always mean compatibility. Sometimes it just simply means familiarity. Most women trust chemistry, and that's because it feels real. Whenever there's chemistry, there's this immediate recognition of symbiosis. Someone thinks the way that we think about a certain thing. They like things that we like. We laugh about certain things that other people don't get. That's the basis of chemistry and a lot of surface dynamics, which is oftentimes the reason for us moving forward or judging by the chemistry. Oh, this person seems to be cool. We may be able to go to the next step. Chemistry is often the litmus test as to whether we continue in a conversation or in a dating situation with someone based on those things. And it's usually that type of chemistry that creates another level of perceived attraction. And when we feel that type of attraction, logically speaking, a lot of times our minds go into meaning. Well, it has to mean something, right? If I'm feeling him, he's feeling me, we both think this, we both say we want that, we've both been this particular place, we're in this organization, in this neighborhood, in this institution together, then we try to connect the dots and make things mean more oftentimes than they are at surface value. We assume strong feelings equals a strong connection. Most of us were taught to trust chemistry. If there's a spark, if there's butterflies, if there's excitement, or intense attraction, we assume that's a sign the relationship has potential. But chemistry isn't always telling us what's healthy. It oftentimes is telling us what's familiar, what we're used to. Familiarity often disguises itself as attraction. We're often drawn toward what our nervous system recognizes. It's much like a baby with its mother. The baby knows its mother, and likewise, the mother knows her child. She knows her child's cry. And so, because there is this bond, this familiarity, they will run toward one another. They will call out for one another and become connected in a way that only intimate familiarity can bring. It's the same when it comes to dating in relationships. It's like this invisible antenna that a lot of us operate on, where it's like, oh, if they look like us, if they come from our neck of the woods, if they subscribe to the belief system that we do, there's this sense of familiarity that draws us closer to people. But that doesn't necessarily, again, mean that those people are healthy individuals or healthy for us. And here's the thing I really want to say: familiar can seem comfortable even when it's painful. Sometimes we'll choose to stay involved with someone because it's what we know. We'll stay in a situation far past its expiration date because of the saying, better the devil we know than the one we don't. And so familiarity can create a level of comfort, even when it's uncomfortable to be in a situation, because we've chalked it up to the chemistry is there. I know this individual, they know me, even if it's dysfunctional. I say this because if inconsistency, emotional unavailability, unpredictability, or earning love became a familiar experience, then your nervous system is wired to associate all of those things with love and attraction and belonging. It's likely that your nervous system recognizes those dynamics as deep connection. Healthy people often don't trigger the same intensity. The example that comes to my mind is someone who is used to eating the most rich juicy, fattening food. And then they're being challenged to switch their palate to the complete opposite. So it's like someone who's been used to eating, cheeseburgers and lasagna and pizza and fast food, all of a sudden eating a garden salad. The appetite is going to go in shock. Like there's no excitement for the salad like there was for the onion rings, okay? And the same thing can be said in parallel to dating and relationships for those of us who are accustomed to, ooh, I'm just looking for the juice, for the spice, for the flavor. When it comes to attraction, not necessarily considering or thinking about what's actually healthy, will tend to go for that. And the ones that aren't flavorful, I'll say, that don't create that initial spark and that intensity, like, a juicy cheeseburger would for most people, the chemical response can feel very flat. And I've mentioned the word boring before, especially in my recent two videos. And one reason healthy relationships can feel underwhelming at first is that they don't activate the same emotional roller coaster that the toxic and chemical imbalancing type of individuals activate within us. That's because there's less anxiety, there's less uncertainty, there's less chasing, which oftentimes equates to excitement. And the thing is that our nervous systems oftentimes don't know the difference between excitement and anxiety because at the base level, they essentially feel and operate the same. And if your nervous system has learned to associate intensity with love and care and concern, then calmness and groundedness and peace can feel very unfamiliar. I often coach women that butterflies aren't a green flag. In fact, I would venture to say that they oftentimes tend to be red lights and they tend to be signs to run the other direction. Because if chemistry has been the crux of what has drawn you to certain relationships that were ultimately failed situationships or toxic blow-ups and crash and burns, then it's important to stop and assess what exactly has been driving the compulsion to be with certain people. Sometimes butterflies are excitement, and then sometimes they're anxiety, and it's important to learn the difference. This doesn't mean you should stop trusting yourself. Actually, I always preach the complete opposite. But what it does mean is learning to understand what your attraction is actually responding to, because healing changes who we're attracted to. This is exactly the kind of deeper relationship rewiring I help women explore in my programs and coaching. If you would like more information about that, the link is in the description box beneath this video. You can also get my new digital course, Break the Pattern of Choosing the Wrong Men. Would love to have you as part of my new Love Life Transformation community. But let me know how this hits for you in the comments as always. And when you're done with that, be sure to check out this next video right here. And I'll see you in the next one.